into the world of science and travels. If you're new here, Tides and Trails is a space where we talk about marine science, traveling as scientists, and how we balance research, hobbies, and life outside the lab. Some weeks we're very professional, some weeks we're not, but it's always honest. And today we're here for you with a really exciting episode.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk a little bit about our travel history and just, advice on traveling and stuff like that. So Andrea and I both really like to travel and we both have a lot to say on the topic. Mm-hmm. But first, we're going to go into our weekly segment, which is our waves and wipeouts.
Yes.
So, what were your highlights this week, Andrea?
Well, I told myself before this episode that I'm not going to talk about the weather in this segment this week.
Yes, we've been having the same wipeouts for the past couple weeks, which has been the weather. But right now the sun is out, so we're over
not
that
talk
one.
About that. But my wipeout of the week is that I literally got wiped out by the fact that I started uni on Monday afternoon, and I only heard at Sunday night that I was actually having uni class for like the whole Monday afternoon till 6:30 p.m. Which it sucked because I was still in Lisbon on Sunday evening and I just did a really big trail run and I was planning on chilling all Monday and I didn't because I needed to travel back, so I needed to wake up really early to travel back, and then I came here and then my car was not working, so I also had to rush to class. So yeah, that was a wipeout and it literally wiped me out. I'm still recovering.
Yes, I would say my wipeout is similar with university starting up. I mean, not the same situation, but I am definitely not a morning person, and getting up early in the morning is really hard for me. And some of our classes are at 9 a.m., and because of where I live and having to take the bus, I need to leave my apartment some mornings by 8 a.m. Yes. And that is just that's not okay for me. So I've been having a hard time. But my wave for the week, so my highlight would be also that our classes have started for the new semester, and I honestly find them really interesting. I think that I'm a little bit more excited about our courses this semester than last semester. They're just a lot more practical, and very excited about it.
Yes, that is also cool, but also my highlight is that we have sweaters for more degree.
Yes.
With, they're so cool, they have a little logo on the front and on the side, and then a whale tail, and they're nice and dark blue, and we're looks really professional, and our whole class is wearing them right now, which is so funny.
Yes, we got these super beautiful hoodies and we're all matching and coordinated, and it's so fun. So I love it as well.
Yes. So that's I think our waves and wipeouts of the week. So let's go to our recent favorite trip. Let's start with that question. Kellyanne, what was your recent trip that you took?
Okay, awesome. So I've taken a few trips recently, but my favorite was I did a solo backpacking trip in Morocco back in December, and it was so fantastic. So I left from Faro and I went to Malaga in Spain for a night. Very beautiful city, really nice to explore, definitely recommend. But I didn't stay there long. I took the ferry from Spain to Morocco, and then I did a little route in Morocco. I started, first I went to Chefchaouen, which is a really beautiful city. The whole city is blue. It's filled with cats. And it's in the middle of the mountains, so I really don't know what more you could ask for.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a very beautiful time. From there I went to Fez. Fez is really cool because everything is kind of old-timey. Everyone still makes things by hand, so you're seeing people making bronze things and carving wood and everything being done by hand, which is really beautiful. It's also home to the oldest Medina in the world, and it's 1,200 years old. So it's just so cool walking through it. You feel like you're going through time.
That's so cool.
Yes. And from there I went to Merzouga, which is in the Sahara Desert, and I spent a night there. I went ATVing and sandboarding and stargazing without all the light pollution, and it was amazing. And from there I went to Marrakesh, and that was the end of my trip. I ended my trip there. Spent some time with friends I met throughout the trip and just finished off really strong.
Love that. So what would you say was the highlight of that trip? What is the one place you would recommend everyone going?
Well, I think that so I think my favorite place on the trip was actually Fez, but I think that like the most crazy place that I would recommend to everyone would be Merzouga, like in the Sahara Desert, because it's just so unique and it's so cool to be just in like a place that remote.
Yeah, I get that.
And yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was like nowhere I've ever traveled before.
That's really cool. Did you feel safe as a solo female traveler in Morocco?
I really did. I'll be so honest. I think there was one situation I didn't feel the most safe.
Mm-hmm.
But I was with people, and so that like made it feel a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I didn't face any harassment, and I felt okay the whole time. I think I met only one or two other solo female travelers the entire trip, though. So it's not the most common place for solo travelers. But the hostel culture is really big and safe in Morocco, so you'll definitely meet people if you go there.
Love that.
Yes.
That's so nice to hear. So yeah.
Yeah, so what was your favorite trip you've been on recently, Andrea?
I was thinking about that. I traveled a lot this month, I would say.
Yeah.
But like the real big trip where I did like actual road tripping was the one in the Algarve.
Nice.
I had some family members coming over and we like traveled all around the Algarve, and we started from like where we live and we went up north and we went to Tafira, which is like this cutest town with all these Romanian like places, like it's like so cute. And then we went to Spain, and that was kind of random, just to fuel up for gas. And then we went more inland, where you had like the next day where you had like the hills and like the fields full of oranges and everything, which was so stunning. And also the Kirk is like a real Portuguese project, and you see like the trees like everywhere.
So what is that?
It's like the where you also like you have all these handbags from like Kirk.
Oh, the cork.
Cork. Oh,
yes. Sorry, I didn't. I usually get your accent. I did not understand that one.
And like the bags and like the everything Cork related is like the trees are like all inland.
Yes.
You see them a lot. And then we went to Monchique, which is the highest point of the Algarve, and we tried to get up there with my old car, which it took a lot of effort, but we came there. And then from Monchique we went back down to the coast, where you have like the Atlantic coast with like the massive waves, and it was also really windy, so it was like they were splashing up, and when you were standing on the rocks you got like all wet. And then we went back along the coast to Faro and just did like a lot of hikes, and it was just so stunning. Like Algarve is just like, you don't have the biggest towns, but all the towns you have are like so cute, and all the nature is like so wild and like rugged, and like it's so stunning. So yeah.
I think it's really beautiful. I mean, just the towns that I've been to and the areas I've been to, I think it's like we really live in like the perfect road tripping destination.
Yes,
and
for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of people when they come to Portugal, they don't realize like how nice it is to get a car and just drive around. But I think driving around in the Algarve is it's like a dream. That's like a dream road trip.
Yes.
So it's so nice you got to do that.
Yes, I would also say like don't get the main roads always. Just like take the longer routes. Like take the hour longer drive and like go in all those inland routes. Like just that would be my biggest recommendation. Just like have a nice end destination, but like take the longer routes. Don't take the highway, because there's basically only one highway.
Yes.
But then all around there are these like cutest small roads with like, that's where you actually see like the...
Yes, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
So now we're going to move into some questions, but we're going to kind of just ask each other some questions about our previous travels, and we're just going to kind of get into it.
Yes.
So yeah, Andrea, I would like to start with this one, and I think this is a really nuanced and like kind of weird question, but I always like to ask people like just where their favorite destination is, because I feel like for me that's like such a hard question.
Yes.
Yes,
I wouldn't... Okay, I would never in the past have an answer for this, but one thing I realized is I was in South Africa for 9 months.
Yeah.
So you can consider that traveling, you can consider that living. Name it whatever you want. But what I think is the coolest thing over there, which I think I've never found anywhere else where I traveled, is just the wildlife. Like, you're never bored over there. Like, if you're sitting in a car in Portugal, it's nice. But if you're sitting in a car in South Africa, you have giraffes. You have all those things, like monkeys. And all those crazy animals, like the craziest animals, just outside of your window. And like, even after 9 months, I was still in awe. And like in Portugal, you have like, it's beautiful, and in South Africa it's beautiful as well. I wouldn't say like I would find one more beautiful than the other, but just the wildlife in South Africa, mind-blowing, even after 9 months. And like, I would want to go there again. Like, I haven't been there for 2 years now. I'm like, I see everyone right now online in South Africa, and I miss it. Like, it's such a cool country. So yeah, maybe I'm curious about your answer.
Okay, so I think my answer is kind of similar, and this is why I think it's a weird question, in the sense that I would say Honduras because I also lived in Honduras. Mm-hmm. And I feel like once you live in a country, it's a lot different. Yes. But I get to see like the areas that it's like someone who just visits for a week or something doesn't see. But it's like, I really love Honduras. I loved every part of it, and I love Central America in general. Like, I think that would be my favorite region of the world. But I just loved the untouchedness of Honduras, in the mainland especially. Mm-hmm. I lived in Utila in the Bay Islands, so it's like, it was obviously a bit different. Like, the Bay Islands are more touristy, but like, even getting to see the areas inland, a lot of tourists don't make it inland in Honduras, and so it's just so untouched and so special. So yeah, Honduras would be my favorite, but again, that's why I said I think this is a weird question. Yes. Because I think that everyone's answer is a bit influenced by like personal opinions for something like this.
I do have to say, like, I like road tripping. Okay, this is maybe an unpopular travel opinion. Can I? Yes, okay. Sorry. But I think when you're road tripping, you don't get to know a country that well, and it's really intense. Like, you see a lot, but you don't see a lot really well. Whilst when you're living there, you actually experience the culture. And I love that. Like, I love living somewhere and then traveling from the point where I'm living. Yeah,
so I guess I was going to ask you if you like slow travel or fast travel better, and I guess you just answered that, so you're more of a slow traveler.
Yes. I would say I like fast travel, but if you really want to get to know a place, no, I would always say slow travel, because you can also sustain it for way longer.
Yes, exactly. I think that's nice.
And you?
I mean, I think I prefer, like, in a perfect world, I would say I do prefer slow travel, but I think that a lot of the time I do take a lot more of these, like, backpacking type trips, so I am moving around quite a bit. And I think that that's also really special because it makes you realize, like, what places you want to go back to as well. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that, when you're traveling from place to place, you really get to see, okay, like, I really liked this, I really didn't like this, I didn't spend enough time here, etc. I mean, I don't go very fast. Like, I think, like, one night in a place is just too quick most of the time. Yes. But I think, like, 3 or 4 nights, you can do a lot in a city in 3 or 4 nights.
I would say then that's medium travel, because what I've been doing lately and what I've realized I kind of dislike is literally going to different places, driving around constantly. And I also don't like if I like driving most, because you're just in your own car and like in your own bubble. And like with hostels or something, like how you travel or how you do with backpacking, it's like so social.
Yes, yeah. So I always say, like, I travel alone, but I don't have to be alone. If I want to be with people, I can always be with people. And it's never been a trouble to meet new people or find new people. Mm-hmm. And I'm also, like, not an extrovert. I'm not, like, the most outgoing. So for me, like, meeting new people isn't necessarily the easiest, but I've never had problems with it when I'm traveling. Yes. I've always been able to find people if I want to. So I definitely love traveling solo. I definitely love hostels. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I guess since we're on the topic of road trips, what would be your dream road trip? If you could do a road trip anywhere in the world, where would you do it? Get a van, just drive around.
This is a really hard question. Honestly, if I have a van, I would want to explore Europe. Because okay, or Australia, one of the two.
Yeah.
But I feel like Europe is like, I live there, but I haven't explored it enough.
Yeah.
Like, so that's why I would say Europe, just because I feel like it's kind of, I'm a European, I have this great passport, I have this great place to live in, but I just don't know my neighbors. So I think road tripping, like in a van, it's really nice to like get to those places where you can't just get by public transport. So that's why I would say Europe.
I think my answer's similar, not in the sense that it's Europe, but in the sense that I think I would maybe say America. And like Canada, like I just think like North America as a whole, because I haven't gotten to explore a lot of my own country, because my own country is so big.
Yes.
And I think that that's like the ultimate way to do America. Like we don't have the public transit in order, so I think that just driving from place to place, and like we have so many of these like really epic road trip routes, like Route 66 and stuff. But I mean also like how you touched on, like Australia and New Zealand are also both definitely on that list. Like those are also very good road tripping countries.
Yes, I would say what I do love with road tripping is like taking your bike or your hiking shoes or whatever sport you like and explore. I don't think road tripping is always the best for cities, because you always have like parking fees and everything like that. I think it's best to like explore the nature.
Like I think like somewhere like Europe you have so much public transit options. Like I think that it's better in more remote areas where there's so big of a distance between things.
I do get that.
But yeah, so I love a good road trip though. Okay.
But I was gonna add something to this, because this is actually kind of a dream that I have, which is like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there is a hiking trail from all the way to the top of New Zealand to all the way down to the bottom, which takes months, and I kind of want to do that one day. But like true hikes are one of the things that is like fascinating me a lot.
Yeah, so I guess what's your like dream? I don't know if I'd say your dream hike, but like what would be the through hike that's like most on your mind right now, like the one you want to do like most recent? The
Te Aura. Like that's the first one I read about, and it just fascinated me so much. Like the whole story, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. One day in my life I'm gonna do this one. Yeah, I've been like really on a kick I want to do the Peaks of Balkans trail. I'm thinking of doing it at the end of this coming summer. But yeah, you hike to the highest peaks in Albania, Montenegro, and Kosovo. It takes about 9 days. That sounds really cool. Yeah, so I think that's like the through hike that's most on my mind right now. I obviously have also been really into like the Camino de Santiago. But you need like a month to really properly do it. So I don't think I'm like in the place to properly do that one right now. So I think the Peaks of Balkan is my... Yeah, the Te Aura is also not going to be anything that I'm doing anytime soon, because it takes months. Not even a month, months. Yes, that's why I was like, I would love to do any of these really long trails, but I think it's better to find some smaller through hikes to start out, because I haven't ever hiked even for a week yet. Like, I haven't done that. So I think it's... Yes, agree. Okay, then I have a question for you. Yes. If you had anywhere to go study next, where would it be? Ooh, okay, this is a really good question. So, for me personally, I've thought of like 2 destinations a lot, but I think I would kind of boil it down to one, which would be Australia. And I have specifically thought about like maybe Western Australia, but also maybe like Queensland area. But yeah, I've thought really intensively about like doing maybe my PhD there. I'm really interested in like whales and sharks and like other marine megafauna. And that's obviously a really great place to research them. Yes. So that's somewhere I've thought about. I guess I lied when I said 2 places, because I think there's kind of 3. I've also thought about South Africa a lot, because there's a lot of really good shark research in South Africa. So since I was a little kid watching Shark Week, I was always like, oh, I want to go study in South Africa. I don't know if it's as much on my mind anymore, but that is somewhere I always used to dream of. Love that.
Yeah, and then more in recent times, I've also been considering Norway as well for a PhD because they have a lot of whales and cetaceans in Norway and a lot of research in it. So
And Norway is pretty.
yeah, exactly.
But also pretty cold.
Yes, it's definitely not the temperature range I typically would go for, but those I think would be the 3 places I've definitely thought about for like my next.
Love that.
Yeah.
That is really cool. I can highly recommend at least South Africa. So
Yes. Yes. Cool. So, I guess we had some would you rather questions we were gonna get into next.
am I not gonna say where I want to study next?
Oh yes. Yes, we can do that too.
Honestly, I wanted to just hook on to the fact that we've joked about the fact that we are both gonna go to Australia. Like,
yes.
I want to do research on like the polar regions, and I think Antarctica is so fascinating. And like, for example, things like the circumpolar current. I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's basically like the current going all around Antarctica. It's the only ocean current that's going like around the whole world, and it's like not obstructed by any land. I think it's just so fascinating. And then you of course need to be somewhere like close by that, and like Australia is relatively close, but you also have like Chile. But yeah, Australia or New Zealand are like high up there. I think one of those two will be so epic.
Yes.
So,
yes.
yes.
I think that would be really cool.
Yes, and it would be fun if we can like meet it up again.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And then maybe we'll road trip Australia together. Who knows?
That would be really cool. Guess you have to wait and find out.
Yeah, if you stay tuned that long, maybe you'll get to see it. But
indeed, we are going to the Would You Rather 2
yes.
questions.
Yes, and I had one in my mind, but now I have to think of a new one.
Sorry.
Would you rather camp every single night for a month with no facilities, or stay in a 3-star rated hostel for the same amount of time? You can switch the location for both. Like, you can move from place to place. But it has to be a 3-star rated hostel or a campsite with no facilities.
I would lean towards campsite, honestly.
With no facilities. No shower, no bathroom, you can't use any facilities.
But hostels kind of sometimes freak me out. I think after a week of hostels, I will be done.
Yes, I mean...
You?
My answer is definitely the hostels, but also I don't like I stay in a ton of hostels. If it was a really bad hostel, then like that does suck, but I could do it. I could do it. I've stayed in so many hostels in my day, and I think that the community you get in a hostel, especially a bad one, the way that you all bond over that shared experience, that person snoring, or like the hostel being dirty, like the way you bond with the other people is like really unforgettable.
Wow.
So I think I would choose that because no
true.
shower for a month.
Love that.
It's impossible. I mean, like I can go a little bit, but a month, no shower.
Then you need to use the resources of nature, girl.
To shower?
Just to bathe.
Okay. Well, we had different answers for that one. I can camp out for a while for sure, but yeah.
Okay. This is a random one, but pay a few euros less and have no breakfast, or pay a few extra euros for all-inclusive breakfast.
Okay, I always do no breakfast. Always, 100% of the time. Because you can find local breakfast for cheaper. Almost always. Yeah, so that's my answer. It's like, I'd rather just go to a local cafe nearby or something and get breakfast than pay the like €5 to get breakfast included.
Okay.
What's your answer?
Okay, I would say partially depends, but if it's a breakfast buffet, I will go for the breakfast buffet. Like,
Yeah.
I've recently realized that, like, if they say on booking.com when the breakfast is really good, if they say breakfast is really good, I would go for the breakfast buffet, because I am a sucker for breakfast buffets. I love them. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like usually I don't, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, it's
okay.
really random. I, like, randomly love.
So,
I'm obsessed with.
Would you rather have 6 months to spend in Central America or 6 months to spend in Southeast Asia?
Southeast Asia. I'm sorry for Central America, but Southeast Asia is a place where I want to go. Like, I think Central America is really cool. have been there as well already a little bit.
Yeah, but didn't you only go to Panama City?
No, I traveled around in Panama.
Oh, okay.
But I would just say that, like, right now, I would say, yeah, don't know. I've also never been in Southeast Asia. So then I feel like I'd rather explore something new at this exact moment in my life.
Yes.
You?
So this one's really hard for me because I think I would also have to say Southeast Asia, but that's just because I spent 5 months of my life in Central America. But
Fair.
would I do Central America again 100%? And do I think I need at least 6 months to do it again? 150%. I think I need 7 or 8 months. Like, I think I need to spend more time in Central America. Like, I think it is one of the most beautiful regions in the entire world. I think it's so special. I think Southeast Asia is also a big adventure, but I think either one, they're completely different. They're similar in terms of the budget and like the backpacker community and like the tourism trail, like how you're gonna meet people, how you're gonna travel with people, how you're gonna have these unforgettable experiences. They're just in very different locations.
Yes, agree.
So, yeah.
Would you rather bungee jump or skydive?
Okay, so I think we talked about this once. I would rather skydive, 100%. And that's because I think if you left it up to me and me alone, I'm going to have a really hard time mentally jumping off that bridge.
Yes, we talked about this.
Yes. But if you tie me to someone else and we're jumping out of a plane, like, I think I could do it. Because, like, someone else is also helping me jump.
True.
So that is me, personally.
Yes. Well, I did the bungee jumping, so this is kind of an unfair question.
Yes.
Maybe I think I would like the skydiving better.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like the bungee jumping, I feel like I always say do it, but do it once in your life. And with skydiving, I think it is a really cool experience, and like it takes longer, you see more.
Yeah.
So I think I would say skydiving if you want to do one of those things. If you just want to do them for the experience, just do both of them. But like, yes.
Okay. Would you rather become a master freediver or a master scuba diver? Dive master, we'll say, not master scuba diver.
I would say scuba, not free.
Yeah.
I haven't been drawn to freediving yet.
Yeah.
And I also feel like you can get deeper with scuba easier.
Yeah, easier. I wouldn't say definitely in all cases, because I mean, I know some people who go really deep when they freedive.
Yeah, easier.
Yeah.
And you?
I mean, for me, I'm already a dive professional in scuba, so
Fair.
it's like not really as much of a question, but I do really, really want to get into freediving more, so that is something I would consider doing in the future.
I mean, I don't have my diving certificate yet, so let's start at the beginning.
Yes, I just meant out of the two, which one, but
yes.
yeah, I think both are definitely an adventure.
Yes. Okay, what is your favorite way of traveling? Okay, I have 3 options. Plane, public transport, or your own car.
Okay, so you should know, I think, by now, I would always choose public transit because I am always going to choose the most environmentally friendly option. Always. Do I love driving? Yes, I fucking love. Yes, I really love driving. I really love driving in a car, but I would not choose to drive a car over public transit because it's better for the environment.
Agree. I think that's a really good one.
Yes.
I also just like being lazy, honestly. I love 3-hour bus rides where I just have to do nothing.
Yes.
So.
Yes, and I always try to fly as little as possible. So like I'll fly to a destination or back from a destination, but I try to like travel by land as much as I can once I get to that destination.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So for me personally, I try to avoid it. So we keep those carbon emissions low. Okay.
Yes.
So now I think maybe a few questions about like, would you rather go to this country or that country?
Yes.
So,
okay, let's do it.
I must say, would you rather go to, and you have to say why, Slovenia, or would you rather go to, let's say, Namibia?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, and I feel like both are so beautiful. So
Yes. Oh my, this is a hard one.
yeah, and for this one, you can ask me the same sort of question, but ask me different countries.
Okay. I would say Namibia, just because I really wanted to go there when I was in South Africa and I didn't.
Yes.
And I know like the sand dunes and like it's like really rural still, and it's warmer.
Yeah.
So I would say Namibia. I think also like more like something I have never experienced.
Yes.
Wouldn't also go to as soon, so I would say Namibia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather go to... Wait a sec. South Africa or Cuba?
Okay, so this is kind of hard, but I've really wanted to go to Cuba for a long time. And because of like the U.S. embargo and stuff, there was a really long period of time where Americans couldn't even go to Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
And so since they've opened travel again, it is somewhere that's been really high on my list, and I love like a backpacking country. So I think that that's like a good one. You can stay in little guest houses and just backpack around, and I think that that's somewhere high on my list. I just love the warmth of Spanish-speaking countries typically, so I think very high on my list. I also do really want to go to South Africa, but for different reasons. I just think if you were to talk about like which one I would rather go to like tomorrow, I think I would choose Cuba.
Okay.
Also because I think their economy is going to collapse soon, so it's probably better to go sooner rather than later, right?
Side note, yes. Yeah. Love that. Okay.
Okay, so...
One more round?
Yeah, one more round. We can do one more. Would you rather go to, let's say, Indonesia or... I'm going to say Iceland.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, I'm gonna say the warm one again, I think. Indonesia.
Yeah.
Also, like, it has been influenced by Dutch colonization, so I also think, like, we've learned it a lot with history in school, and I was a kid as fascinated by history as I am now by the ocean. So I think just generally I would find it so interesting.
Yeah.
So because of all of that, I would say Indonesia. But I think Iceland is stunning. I just have like less of like an background, like a challenge background. I think Iceland will be fascinating for like all the nature forces that are playing there. So
yes.
It will be there, but I will choose Indonesia over Iceland.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Last one, make it good.
Yes. Okay. I think I might disappoint you on this one. Brazil or China? I'm just curious by your reaction.
Okay.
Or make it Japan if you like.
Okay, I'll leave it at China, but this is a hard one to choose because I think I would probably choose Brazil. But I think that comes back to how much of like I really do like that region of the world, and I really want to travel South America. I think China is also like a big bucket list destination, like I was talking to you about it earlier.
Yeah.
But I think they're just very different things, and I think that like again how I was saying like the warmth of like Spanish speaking countries. I know Brazil is like Portuguese, but it's like has a similar warmth to it with the people, the food, all those things that I really do love. So I think that plus the nature obviously is incredible.
Yes.
So it's definitely somewhere I think I would choose that. Especially if you made it during Carnival. Oh, 100%.
That is, I think, a really good answer. Yes.
So I think now we can move on to our weekly segments.
Yes.
And we're going to start with some positive, we usually do positive science news, but this one is just more general, like positive like travel, geography kind of news.
Yes.
Just to switch it up for our travel episode. But we heard that in January, Guatemala announced they were going to be closing down one of their main oil operations, and in its place they were going to open a police base to help protect and manage the rainforest there. And I think that this is just so amazing because like I was talking to you, Guatemala is getting a lot more tourism. It's a lot more touristic. every year that goes on. And so I think it's really important that in these regions where we still have such beautiful untouched rainforests that we are working to protect them.
Yes, totally agree. And I think it's such a beautiful, positive thing. Okay, we're going towards the science fact we didn't ask for as well. It's not really a science fact this time because we also traveled to Lisbon. Didn't talk about it.
Yes.
But there I was in a museum where they were talking about the history of Portugal, and Portugal is actually one of the oldest countries of Europe, which first science fact. But the second science fact is that they were really big in exploration. So they were the first country to travel around, for example, the southern tip of Africa, and they discovered Brazil in 1500. And
That's
with
so
all of
cool.
that came like new methods in like navigating on the stars and all of these like nautical sciences, which I think is really fascinating.
Yeah, so the Portuguese were really known for like their seafaring ways historically, and I think it's just, it's really cool to look at.
Yes, for sure. And yes, then we had our experimental attraction, which is Galleons.
Yes, so again, we're swaying away from the science facts this week, so we have a travel-based pickup line, and I was wondering, are you a passport? Because I can't imagine going anywhere in the world without you.
Cute.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes. And so, this week goes out to my favorite book, My Passport. But I think we can wrap it up for today.
Yes. For us, I wanted to add, I think traveling is like a way to decompress.
Yes, exactly. Like, I think that especially being students, but also students that study something like so complex, like science, like you really need times that you can turn your brain off and use them in different ways. And I think like traveling is just such an outlet for both of us, and in different ways, because I obviously travel solo a lot and in hostels and stuff, and you more do things like in groups and like staying in nicer accommodations.
Yes, that was what happened this time. But I do all of it. Yes, I also traveled down to Portugal with my car on my own. So I think it's just so cool. You can travel in so many ways.
Exactly.
But it always has the same focus, I think. Just having some fun. Coming back to just having fun.
And like you learn so much about life, reality, yourself in your travels, which I think is kind of what we wanted to get across with this episode, is like the differences and like also what it teaches us. So.
Yes. I think quite often when I don't really know for a moment, I go travel for a little bit, even if it's just for one day. Just to like, I don't know, feel the freedom of life. So that's one thing I wanted to add. So for now, that's it. We're going back to studying. No travel anymore.
Maybe don't say no travel, but
I think we already have a bit less lining up.
Yes. Always have something in the works.
Exactly.
See you next week.